It's interesting because that first question you asked, as far as like men and women are equal but not identical. I mean, that's the whole reason why Steve Harvey wrote his book. It would think like a man, and act like a lady, think like a man. I mean, because the thing is, men are walking around, they hear this cerebral, they already know in their mind what they want to do and stuff like that. Women are leading with their hearts. They want to be married, they want to have kids, they want to have family and things like that. And I think the thing that I pose to, the men, or at least, what men need to be thinking about when they're selecting women is just that, should I let my guard down? And is this woman, have her wits about her to where I can have something with her where I don't mind her heart being so big?
Mm.
You know what I mean? And vice versa and stuff like that. When a woman is looking to love a man, because a woman they want to love men, you know what I mean? But the thing is, the problem is when you come in and you have the right intentions with the wrong person. I want to have this family. I want to have a husband. I want to have this. That's why when women sometimes say, I want a husband, I'm like, well, what anybody will do? I'm like, you got to look for your soulmate, mate. You got to look for the person that you can't live without. It can't be just any dude, because when you say I'm just looking for a man, or I'm looking for my husband and stuff like that, it has to be the other half of you. It has to be that person that is going to, protect you. Like that guy in his mind. So here's the thing, just to kind of spice things up a bit and stuff like that. That one question that you asked me, can men and women be platonic friends, right? So here's the thing, as your male friend, I have to acknowledge and respect the boundaries that are automatically going to be placed there without you saying anything when you have a potential partner. Because the thing is, just like women, men know when they're crossing the line as far as communicating to their friend when they're in a relationship and, just doing those types of things. As a guy, the first thing that's going through a guy's mind when he has his woman and she's telling him, well, I got this X amount of guy friends and stuff like that. The first thing that's going through his mind is like, they all trying to get at you. They all want you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, that may not be necessarily true to a degree, but to some degree it is. And honestly, a guy who really understands his stuff, he knows that and acknowledges that. But the thing is this, there's a lot of things, like it's not a black and white thing. There's a lot of things that go into that, right? It also goes into trusting your woman enough, just like you were talking about, like men that don't get in the same cars with strange women and stuff like that. It's about trusting your woman enough to where that she's not even going to put herself in that position to cause a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No. So the thing is, it's like, if you've been cheated on and you've had different things that have happened, you can't really look at the person outside a relationship. You got to look at the person who is internal and with you. Like that's the violation of trust. That's where the breach happened. If I have an ex and they go out and do whatever they want to do, that's my ex. Like she's already, left this relationship. So I can't sit here and be mad at her for moving on. But like when you sit here and tell me how you feel about me and then go out and do what you want to do, that's something entirely different. That's the utmost disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's good that you say that, because like from the woman's perspective, because of how we relate to one another, it's very different when someone wants to, like a male wants to say that we're friends. Because when we say that we're friends as women, like we share information, we share things, like we share tears, we share stuff, and so it's very deceptive to be in a scenario with someone that's your friend, and then you find out later on, like women, we get really like jaded by that because it feels like a breach of trust. So that's really something good for, I think, a lot of women to understand. I know we can't apply that logic to all like scenarios, but that's something good to have in mind, help you keep your guard up a little bit, because we're thinking like when we're friends, like we besties, we're hanging out, like we're gonna share.
Men are not thinking like that. Men are just like, I'm going to use this as a doorway. This is going to be my gateway to come over and hang out and us just kick out. I'm going to invite her out and stuff like that. Very seldom does that not happen. But for the most part, it usually happens like that, you know, and like out of respect for my female friends, it's like I like to always just have that transparency as far as like knowing who your partner is and knowing and you know introducing myself to put that person at ease. You know, because I'm like, if you do dirt, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do it in the dark, not in the light. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So if somebody knows my face, I'm like, yeah, I ain't crazy enough to be out here talking to her because I'm just like, I introduced myself to you, so why would I go even do that unless I'm just crazy?
Yeah, it's another like respect level that needs to be maintained. That's awesome, Chris. That's phenomenal stuff, and really good stuff for us all to have on our minds. You know, when it comes to how we relate with people, and just making sure again, like it goes back to what we talked about earlier, intentions. That's it, intentions, and being frank and open about those intentions is just everything, right?